What are we going to be talking about? We'll talk about why we're so excited about Princess in Japan and Southeast Asia. We're going to have a celebrity guest pop in, quickly sharing some highlights. Her head just popped up right there. And we're also going to be just getting you excited to give you the information for your clients. So that's it. So very important. Chuck your name, your ABTA number if you're happy to right now. Get ready. When we have the question randomly pop up, for our quick fire questions, I'm going to count down 10 seconds. If you put the correct answer in the chat within that 10 seconds, randomly one of you will win a Costa Coffee card as well. How cool is that? Just randomly. Let's have some fun with it. So what has happened now? Princess Cruises has announced the biggest Japan and Southeast Asia season ever. It is huge. We've got lots of new ports. We've got new festivals. And of course, festivals is something Japan is known for. Everything from cherry blossom to the full foliage seasons and fireworks and so much more. We have expanded the late night stays. We've got overnights. We've got so many things happening. And with 2 ships home porting in Tokyo, we're really, truly excited about what's happening. Now, one of the things I really want to emphasize straight away is what is different about sailing out of Japan. The first thing I want to mention is the fact that so many guests from Japan choose to sail on these voyages. And what that brings is something really special. Firstly, Japanese people are just amazing, right? They get involved with everything. I've been a cruise director for over a decade. Different ports, different people come out a lot. And if there is an activity on the pool deck, whether your guests want to join in or just watch, it really brings such an amazing atmosphere. The cruise has 2 cruise directors. It has a Japanese speaking one as well as an English speaking one. And with that, it means the ship itself is immersing itself in the culture. And I guess it would say a lot. Japan is an island nation, 4,500 different islands over Japan. And what Princess can do and why so many Japanese guests will sail with us is take you to those destinations that really would be so hard to get to that if you weren't on a ship. What is a better way of seeing an island nation than on a ship? So we're going to get you to those different ports. And what is special about Japan as well is there's lots of different kingdoms that had different history, culture, foods, religion. And of course, they all merge into Japan. But when you go round and you experience these different ports, they're not the same place. Is the main thing I want to say is there's so many different things that your guests can experience. So whether they're explorers, adventurers, or they just want to experience something very, very different, Japan and Southeast Asia can offer that. Also, if they want to go somewhere that's far away and feel very, very safe, Japan is known for that too. My friends just came back and it blew their mind that people in the cafes and restaurants, to save their place at a table, would leave their cell phone and their wallet as they went to the bathroom, which I'm not going to do that when I visit London coming up soon. It's not going to happen. So I just want to mention that. And let's get on with some key information about this now. So let's look at the map. Now, this is our main map. And when you look at this, you can see really, truly what we're offering. Look at all those ports, 61 different itineraries. And that is a lot of itineraries. And the reason is Princess Cruises follows the festivals. The festivals happen different times of the year. Now, talking of different times of the year, we're there pretty much all year. And there is different weather depending on when your guests choose to go. March, April, expect those beautiful spring temperatures. You get the cherry blossoms, of course. May, they've got Golden Week. Into June, it starts getting a little bit warmer. July, August is when the fireworks festivals are at the peak. But also that's when the temperatures can start getting a little bit higher. It could be up to 30 degrees. The humidity can be there, which can be noticeable. Of course, there's lots of air conditioning, but when you get on and off of the trains and trams and things like that, it can be noticeable. Late September, October, I love the idea of this. The full foliage, just absolutely beautiful. And then we start merging down towards going to the Japan region. When we look at this as well, 9 different countries. I want to mention with the countries, every single one of the Japan cruises, there is a rule in Japan that if you sail out of Japan, you have to visit an international port. So you will notice on these itineraries, there are some great international ports. You've got longer days ashore. You've got 20 UNESCO heritage sites, 96 different departures, 3 departure ports. And I'm going to be talking about all of this as well. It's a lot of information I'm giving you right here. Of course, we've got the short voyages between 7 to 10 nights are quite popular in Japan. We've also got the longer ones, the signature voyages, the Grand Circle Japan voyages that can be 29 nights or more. Let's keep this going. I'm excited. Can you tell? I'm really passionate about this. Let's watch a short video. That's pretty beautiful, right? I want to quickly hit immersion again. Like you look at that and you look where we're going to, right? And you're thinking, wow, that looks amazing. But from working on ships for so long, having lots of guests from different places on board is pretty special. And that Japanese CD cruise director helps bring alive a lot of the entertainment and the immersion activities that we know your guests will enjoy. I was talking to a colleague the other day, and one of her highlights was the sake barrel ceremony they start the voyage off with. The captain was even there. They break the barrel open, and then the captain was handing out sake to cruise passengers at the beginning of the cruise. Like, that is something I would absolutely love to experience, and things that really do stand out for Princess when you go there. We really step into the immersion of it. Now, why do we sail to Asia with Princess? Well, there's lots of different reasons. We were named for the 5th year in a row the best cruise line for Asia by the Travi Awards. Pretty excited about that. You go to lots of different places, lots of festivals. I mentioned already, but cruising with Princess is known for being port heavy. Like, when I show you some of these itineraries, I think there's a 10-day cruise or 10-night cruise that there's 9 ports. That's amazing, right? To really get to these different places, new destinations every day. And with that extra international port, your guests are not just experiencing Japan on a lot of these cruises, they're also experiencing different places as well. Now, I mentioned as well before, but who is this for? It's for guests that want to adventure, guests that want to explore. Maybe they're not even on their first cruise and they want to experience a different vibe of a cruise. Well, that's exactly what it is. We also want to make sure that you're telling this about to past cruisers, guests that you know want to refer to friends and family. I just challenge you to ask people that have done these cruises how much fun they had, because it really is, I guess, similar to cruising with Princess to Alaska. They will tell their friends and family about what an amazing experience it is. It is luxury as well. I mean, you can't get to all these places without a cruise very easily. Your guests only have to unpack once. And one of the big things now, apart from the fact there is an early booking sale on, you get a discount if you book early, your guests can do combinable voyages. And that's something that really does stand out. Lots of these voyages are combinable. And if you get in early, of course, it helps to try and make sure you get that stateroom. When you go into these places, I want to emphasize that, of course, we have our amazing shore excursion program on offer, which means your guests can go to these places with absolute confidence, knowing they're going to get a local train guide, and they have the reassurance that the ship won't leave them behind, which is, of course, something pretty special. I know a question you're going to get asked as well is, my guests want to go to Singapore, they want to experience Tokyo. Of course, make sure you're checking out plain sailing, have a look at how you can do it all together. We're guaranteed that your guests will be looked after. And it also, apart from anything else, means that they could arrive early or leave late and really experience that port with having that peace of mind. I love it. The ships are really special as well. Both of these ships have got a lot to offer. I put down an extra note on here about the fact they had dry docks recently, 24 and 25. So these ships have been refurbished recently. They're part of the Grand Class, which is something important. They're a ship known for high rebooking rates with guests. They're known for being a ship that has that classic cruise ship feel, great space to guest ratio. So guests really do enjoy this ship, but they're also small enough to get in all of those amazing ports that we visit, which is pretty special. Now, you can't talk about ships for me in a destination. The ship is what gets you to the port. And what's special about Japan and Southeast Asia is where these ports are. They're in fantastic locations. And that really helps your guests get to the places they want to visit even easier. I'm going to show you a picture later on of the cruise location compared to Mount Fiji. I mean, it's in the same picture. It's right there. Your guests could wake up in the morning looking at one of the most spectacular views you could ever imagine. And that's really important. The Diamond Princess and the Sapphire were both built in Japan. They've got Mitsubishi engines, which is pretty exciting. The Diamond Princess was built for the Japanese market, and the ships themselves were 2004, so that, I mean, they are slightly older ships, but they've been so well maintained and looked after that your guests will absolutely love it. They've also got conservatory, they've got the spa and the fitness center. Of course, we have movies under the stars, they've got a sanctuary, and as I mentioned already, they've got a Japanese and they've got an English-speaking cruise director on board. Now, I've just given you a whole lot of information really quickly about our ships and the itineraries coming up soon. But what I want to do now is something a bit different. I get to speak to an incredible young lady called Steph Smith. She is our Princess Cruises sales manager. She looks after EMEA, and actually she's on board and she's going to have to deal with me asking her some quick fire questions about the Diamond Princess and what it was like sailing in Japan with Princess. She did a 9-night voyage last year. So Steph, firstly, yes, thank you for joining us. Is there anything you want to add to what I've just already said in the first 16 minutes?
I mean, I am excited again. I wish I was going straight away back to Japan. It's such a fantastic experience. Real bucket list opportunities, so beautiful. I'd love to go back at all different times during the year to really sort of lean in and experience those festivals and the landscape and the colours. It was amazing.
Well, I think you've just actually said something straight away, which is away from the point, is for that exact reason, it's why guests don't just go to Japan and Southeast Asia once. They want to keep going back because there is so many different ports, different times of the year. You go different places and experience different things. So I love it. But Steph, quick fire questions. Let's do it. I'm going to push you. I want less than a minute per question on this. Diamond Princess okay. To start with. What stood out about the Diamond Princess?
So for me, definitely the mix of guests on board. She's the first ground class ship that I have sailed on. So having that slightly smaller total guest number of up to 2,700 guests, it just meant it was really easy to navigate on board and a great size ship for visiting all these destinations. Really great for the East meets West culture on board as well. Exactly as you mentioned, it was great having the two cruise directors on board, the English and the Japanese speaking, and it really brought the entertainment to life and got everyone involved. And again, to one of your points, one of the many great things of sailing on a voyage is that unpacking once. I had a 9-night itinerary. We had 7 port days. So I got so many opportunities to see as much of Japan as possible in a short period of time. So it really maximised my time on board.
Now, and if I've got time... So go ahead.
Oh, sorry. And if I've got time, one of the real standouts to me, I think you're also going to speak about it a little bit later, is the Azumi Japanese bath experience on board.
Actually, that is coming. Let me see if I can share the picture of it. That is it there. Yeah, tell us about that one.
So what's different about it is that it is the largest Japanese bath of its kind at sea. The pictures here, it is such a beautiful space. It's so calm and tranquil, particularly so for my itinerary. As I said, I had 7 ports days on a 9-night itinerary. So on one of the sea days, making the most of this space, experiencing something that no other operators have this opportunity, sitting out, looking at that vista, it was absolutely perfect. And then the space at the aft, the top picture that you have, it's quiet, it's beautiful, it's a lovely way to relax and spend a few hours.
I love it. I will be talking a little bit more about that one, but I'm glad I got to share the picture. Okay, Steph, next quick fire question. Sorry. You talk about atmosphere. I have to talk about it. It's 100% when you speak to people that have sailed out of Japan, they talk about the atmosphere on board. So talk to me about that.
Yeah, so it was a great mix. There were lots of Japanese guests on board. There was also lots of Aussies, lots of New Zealand guests as well. So it was a fantastic mix. And then I always enjoy on a Princess cruise being able to be at a bar around the pool and you are speaking to people so internationally from around the world. So as well as those nations I've mentioned, there were guests from North America, from Europe, Canada. You know, we covered the globe, which was fantastic to see. Also, being based in Japan, as you were saying before, it does lean into any local festivals or opportunities. So there was quite a few occasions when we were sailing away that on the pier side, there was a local band or a dance group there to wave us off. And they were so enthusiastic and they had such a great vibe and atmosphere being on the promenade deck, being on the top decks, of sailing away from these gorgeous ports with this sort of experience as well, which is going on in front of your eyes. It was great.
I love that. All right, I'm going to push a quick fire question. Tell me food. Princess is known for lots of things, but you think about service, you think about food, and you think about destination. So how can we not talk about food?
Absolutely. So once again, food excellent on board. What was different that I found, which was really positive difference as well, is in the main dining room we had all of our Princess Cruises favourites available every night. However, alongside that menu there was the addition of a Japanese princess favourites available every evening. So with your fantastic waiting staff and team that are looking after you, they gave us and our group recommendations of things to try and the option to be able to incorporate some of our traditional princess dishes alongside some new dishes to me in the Japanese food culture. So that was great. And so often you find if you go to a restaurant, you're not sure because you're not sure like what decision to make or what are you going to like, but you've got the great opportunity to try a bit of everything on board. Also, food-wise, I did want to mention the onboard Diamond and Sapphire. We have our specialty Brazilian grill as one of our specialty dining options. Personal highlights for me: the meats, the side dishes, the quality of them, the portion sizes. Excellent. The team, they continually are leaping around the dining space, caring for you at your table, hand carving you meat food options, and there's so many different options to try. I've got great pictures, great evening. It's the skewers,
the green and red cards where you say I need more food. I'd be all over that, I have to say. I love it, and it's exclusively on these 2 ships, which is great. And I love that one. All right, I'm gonna keep getting Brazilian food. Is amazing. I am Brazilian. I love that, Claudia. It is amazing. I've got to find out what is your favorite port and why. I mean, ports are a big part of Asia. I've got to know what was your favorite.
Oh, it's so hard to have a favorite. I'm going to slightly adapt this question because I almost have 2 favourites and they link into one another. So on my itinerary, I was able to visit one of the ports, which was a really small, quaint fishing port called Saikamianto. Apologies if I haven't pronounced that 100% accurately. As I said, it was a small, tranquil fishing port nestled between mountains, snow-capped mountains. But one of the surprises of Japan was how green, how lush the scenery was. So there was all of this scenery, which was just beautiful to watch and look anyhow, but with the small fishing village in the middle of it. The village itself was also home to one of the famous manga artists. And when you walk along the main street, there is loads, there's around 100 in total, of these small statues of manga drawings or images. And they are so cute. And there's trails around the village for all ages, and lots of photo opportunities. So that was one of my favourite because it was so traditional. But actually then, on the other hand, the next day, as you mentioned before, because I did a Japanese itinerary, we sailed into Busan in South Korea. And I loved the difference of the two ports that were on consecutive days. So we woke up in the morning sailing in under the harbour bridge in Busan. Busan is the second biggest city in South Korea, and it couldn't have been any different from where I was at the day before. It was such a bustling mix, and it's a mix of old and new buildings all in together in a modern space. We did an excursion where we went and visited one of the oldest, most gorgeous Buddhist temples in the city. It was set along a coastal road with a 3-story pagoda looking out to sea. It was gorgeous. But then within 15 minutes, I was back in the city. There was shopping opportunities, fish markets, loads of different food and dining options, which it was such a good food day as well. The city itself, it had K-pop murals, loads of really quirky independent shops. It was such a fun day. And as I said, the difference between the two and being able to experience them in 2 days, this is an opportunity that you don't get if you're not on board a cruise, because of the travel and the logistics around it. So yeah, they were the two. Wow, so many favorites in different ways, but I really liked those two.
I love it. Cheeky going for a second one, but I'm really glad you did.
Yeah.
I'm really glad, right? And now I need to wrap it up because I've got so much to cover here as well today, but I have to ask you simply, 1 minute or less, why Princess to Japan, to Southeast Asia? Why Princess?
Well, I think you're doing a fantastic job of bringing to life and all the detail around it, and that will continue through the presentation. I feel like any event, any conversation we have, we really feel that demand for Japan and Southeast Asia growing. So many more of our customers, our guests are looking for those different travel opportunities. So grand class options with Diamond and Sapphire, they really suit these regional, the port and the ports that we visit. And it's such great options for a premium brand experience and a great value opportunity for your guests' holidays.
That is perfect. Thank you very much, Stephanie. I truly appreciate you coming out today and joining us for a few minutes and sharing some top tips that, of course, all of our agents can share with their guests as well. So thank you very much.
Thanks,
I'm about
Mike.
to start talking about the bath and then about food, so don't go too far away. Thank you very much, Steph. So let's talk about the Azumi bath. As Steph mentioned, it is the largest at sea. It is on the Diamond Princess. It is something that absolutely is very, very popular. I think it's really important to mention as well, though, this is a very respectful, calm, spa-like experience. It is exactly how an authentic Japanese bathhouse does work. It's not awkward or uncomfortable, but it's important to understand that for this one, it's segregated, and every day they switch the side of the ship between the men's side and the women's side, so you get the different views. But it is done without swimwear. It's traditional Japanese style, and I want to make sure I mention that to you on here to make sure you understand it for your guests. It is traditional, traditional Japanese spa. There is a normal traditional, what you get on any other princess ship, spa on board a Lotus spa as well. But it is something that is absolutely loved on board. The question, I guess, would be is who out there would love to be in the Azumi Japanese bath? Let's find out as well. We have talked about foods. The Koto Ocean is also on these two ships, which is something we're really excited about, as well as Sabatini's, that Brazilian grill, Ocean Terrace, sushi, chef's table, Crown Grill as well. So many different food experiences, but also have to highlight again, like Stephanie said, that you've also still got the options in the dining room. I'm sure it'd be the same on the buffet as well. Lots of different options up there that you wouldn't see on lots of other Princess cruises. So your chance to enjoy some fantastic dining experiences are there. Don't forget, the Princess Premier and Princess Plus package out there is fantastic. I know you've got long port days, so you might be thinking about value, but trust me, after a long day out in port, enjoying some of these fantastic restaurants does sound pretty amazing to me. Stephanie, I'm going to ask you one more. What would be your top 3 out of the ones I just said if you were on a cruise this week? It's a tough one, I know. You said the Brazilian grill.
Yeah.
What else is your favorite?
Love the sushi options on board. Oh, it's so tough. I have to say, if we're talking about Japan and Southeast Asia, it's got to be the sushi options.
Okay, I like it. I didn't even say that. Chef's table is on board these as well. I mean, there's so many dining options on these ships. It really is special. Now, though, Stephanie, you haven't seen this before. Randomly, I ask a question, and if you can answer it correct within 10 seconds before I write the word stop, then you could win a £10 Costa Coffee voucher. And I think it's time for a question. Boom. What Sphere class ship can guests be enjoying sailing on in the Med this year? What Sphere class ship? Steph, please don't say the answer, but you know the answer, right? Let's see. Write the answer down in the chat. We're going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Here we go. So if you got in before I said stop, then you have a chance to win that £10 Costa Coffee card. Another question coming up shortly. But now, what I need to do is confirm. I just got a message as well there. Is the other spa on board? Do you wear clothes in the other spa? Yeah, it's a spa like anywhere else. I just want to make sure that you know that the Azumi Japanese bath is traditional, beautiful bathhouse. So just a quick picture here of Japanese, where the port locations are, just with a little share of where the travel time is. It really is fantastic port locations. There are 2 different ports of Tokyo. Just a quick mention, you at Tokyo and Tokyo Yokohama. I have had lots of feedback about how amazing Yokohama is as a destination too, so do keep that in mind. When you are looking at the voyage options, it does clearly say Tokyo or Tokyo Yokohama. It's really easy to see. Most of the Yokohama options are the ones that are going to be later on in the year that are going down sort of connected with the Singapore itinerary, just so you know. And talking of Singapore, how beautiful is that? It is known as just one of the most efficient, world-class cruise destinations, a world-class airport, fantastic for sightseeing, great for first-time cruises. They've also got that most phenomenal mass rapid transit system there. Really, really special to check out both Tokyo and Singapore. Now, what we're going to do now is quickly talk about some of the highlight cruises, and of course that's something you want to know about, and let's do it. So firstly, I said it before, I say it again, but we are going to lots of different locations on this Japanese itinerary. So many different things for your guests to enjoy, and lots of different festivals up for grabs. So let's do it. The first one I'll share with you is this run here. It does include the new festival that we've added to our itinerary, which is the Oscar Bon Odori Festival. I think I've said that right, which is a traditional summer festival. Really cool thing to experience. It even has fireworks sometimes when it's happening as well. Dancing, drums, locals and visitors experiencing it together. But yet again, that 10-day round trip experience on the Diamond Princess does include more ashore. And what I want to highlight this is, the more ashore is to make sure you can enjoy those festivals to the full extent. And yet again, trying to highlight the fact that how many ports you do get to experience. So it looks quite far away, but these trips are going to be very popular. And as Stephanie said, it's definitely the time that people are getting the most excited about Japan. Another cruise I want to highlight to you here is an 8-day Circle Japan. Yet again, a round trip, Tokyo. Get a chance to experience another festival here. Beautiful signs there. Yet again, Diamond Princess, getting to enjoy both of those festivals there as well. And of course, round trip Tokyo makes it very, very easy for your guests. Oh, look at that. Congratulations, Natalie, the first winner of the Costa Coffee Cup. Thank you very much, Josephine. I want to highlight the spring flowers and fall. We've got this one here. So yet again, a beautiful itinerary. You get to go to some of the lesser known ports as well. And that's something that Stephanie just highlighted, to visit a big city one day, like Busan, and then visit a much smaller port the next day, a port with some rich history. Like Nagasaki could be a really special one for one seamless round trip voyage. As I'm going through this, Stephanie, I still see you there looking at this itinerary, looking like I want to be there. If there is something that you are looking at and going, I went there, I want to tell everyone about it, please feel free to jump in. I will not be offended. Hearing the passion you just had for sailing in Japan was something really special. And thank you for joining us today.
Thanks.
We've also got this really immersive Japan experience. Look at all of the ports for that one. 14-day Grand Circle, full foliage on Diamond Princess again, sailing late October, perfectly timed for Japan's autumn colors. You get to see the northern areas and just really going around the whole region. 2 full weeks. And you might notice here as well, you get the opportunity to see Mount Fuji as well. Look at these beautiful views of that cable car as well. Just absolutely stunning places to visit. I want to quickly highlight as well, we've got some central Japan options. These are just a few, of course. I mentioned already how many different sailings we have got. PowerPoint has decided to freeze on me a little bit there. Here we go. We've got a 10-day Japan Explorer. And I've been saying this as well, like, look how many different ports you can enjoy on a 10-day cruise. This one's available, Sapphire, as well as Diamond Princess. Some musty highlights here, Nagasaki. You also get to, I said, do the round trip sailing. I've got a picture here of the temple in Kyoto, which is one of the most historic landmarks there as well. That's from 778 AD. It's a World Heritage Site. And these are the kind of places that your guests get to visit. There's also, well, so much, of course, history in all of these ports. I'm going to keep going through because we're right on time right now. We've also got our 17-day Grand Circle Japan. And this is the picture I really wanted to show you. Now, we've been talking earlier on about ports and the locations of these ports, but that's where we dock. You see the bay there? That water is where the ship goes to. And then imagine waking up in the morning and looking on a clear day at Mount Fuji. Like that to me just sounds amazing. It still goes to some fantastic other ports here as well. Like, I was lucky enough to sail past Mount Fuji in March. Beautiful, right? You get to go to Busan, just like we just talked about a little while ago. Just another beautiful day in port. Now, I'm trying to say, the picture on the left is also the other side of Japan. That area used to be a huge rice export hub. You get to see how family businesses express their status through architecture, art, gardens. It really is another side of Japan that your guests get to experience, like the villa that's right there. 17 Grand Circle. It's 2 stops in Japan, but of course you get to stay on board. Now we've got a little bit of southern Japan I want to share with you. Check out that beautiful picture of the Diamond Princess in front of the volcano. Like, that to me is a view you can't miss out there. One of the most pristine waters you can see. This is the itinerary. I was chatting to my colleague about it in the US a couple of days ago. And I said, all right, so you could book any itinerary for Japan. Which one would it be? And this is the one they highlighted. If you see, you go to Pai down there as well. But those ports on the bottom right, Okinawa in particular, and Oshi Nagiti, I'm not saying any of these right, are really, really beautiful places that our Japan guests especially are the most excited about getting to. And getting to places like that, if you're not on a cruise, will be very, very challenging. And of course, your guests get to go and visit these stunning destinations. Have you been to any of these ports, Stephanie?
We didn't go as far south. Nagasaki was the furthest south, but again, that was an emotional day, and I'm really glad that I was able to see it. And it was really accessible from the ship as well, so it was easy to navigate.
Yeah, it's definitely a port that you're never ever going to forget visiting. And yeah, thanks for mentioning that, Steph. It's something that guests always talk about. Quick fire question, everybody. Moving across. Here we go. We currently have a fam trip incentive live until the 30th of April. Which 2 locations could travel agents be sailing from? It was in the video at the start. So let's see if you got this one. Put it in the chat if you know what it is. 2 locations that you could be sailing from on a fam trip. Any guesses? Oh, it's there. Fam trip incentive live to the end of the month. We are sailing from one. Oh, I might have to give a clue. I'm just looking for the region. One is in the US. I'm not going to say East Coast or West Coast. Maybe that's narrowing it down a little bit. And one of them is in Europe. Any guesses out here? No guesses. Mediterranean is, I can't say. Got to get 2 destinations. You've got to give it a go. I'm going to count it down. This is longer than I thought. We are so excited. We're taking so many agents to these beautiful destinations. You've got 1 of 2 that you could be visiting. One of them is, I'm going to see it. We're going to see who's I'm going to keep it open. I'm going to do it the other way. I haven't seen the okay. I'm going to count down. 3, 2, 1. I didn't think I saw an answer that worked yet. So we have now got some options in there for us to have a random generator on. All right. So we'll talk about that in a second. By the way, I can tell you the answer. Your 2 destinations that you can sail from on a fam trip. We're going to cover the flights. We're going to cover the hotel. We're going to, of course, hotel. We cover the cruise with a balcony cabin. You're going to get a chance to also have a package as well. Any booking you make this month, make sure that you place your booking on the link you're going to see coming up soon for your best chance to be on our fam trips. 1 of 2. But now we've got to quickly talk about Southeast Asia. We're almost at the end of our webinar. And yeah, there's so many exciting destinations. You've got to visit 29 destinations across 9 countries, some beautiful World Heritage sites. And let's talk about it a second. I'm going to give you 3 to quickly talk about here. We've got Malaysia and Thailand, a 13-day experience here. What a beautiful option to even have an overnight in Bangkok. Beautiful places. You get to go to places like Patang. You've got, of course, on here, Phuket, which is arguably Thailand's most famous island destination with golden beaches. Some fantastic places here as well. Quickly showing you some other options. Your guests could visit the Golden Bridge. How beautiful is that? Maybe in Hong Kong. You can also see our beautiful Victoria Peak tram, but look again at the fantastic combinations of ports, starting in Tokyo, finishing in Singapore. This is just absolutely stunning. Your guests have a chance to experience both of those places with this cruise, Tokyo and Singapore, and I'm just beyond excited about that. I would love to walk across the Golden Bridge. And then I just had to share this beautiful picture here of how stunning Singapore truly is. This one is your 28-day Japan and Southeast Asia full explorer journey on the Diamond Princess. Starts over in Tokyo. This is one of those Yokohama cruises, finishing in Singapore. Look at that itinerary. You get more ashore in lots of places as well. You have a chance to see everywhere from Taiwan to Hong Kong to Vietnam. Like, this truly is one seamless journey where your guests can experience everything. This is a bucket list, once in a lifetime kind of trip. That's something truly special. And I just had to show you just exactly how extensive our season can be for your guest. So I have now covered some great itineraries. Japan and Southeast Asia is on sale now. There is an early bird saving of up to £600 per stateroom on selected voyages. So this is a great time to book. But also remember as well that you have a chance to experience a stateroom upgrade on selected stateroom grades as well. There is a Captain's Circle launch offer too. So really, truly make sure now is the time to promote this to your guests. All of these offers run from the 14th of April to the 31st of May. Of course, there's terms and conditions for you to look at. Make sure you go on OneSource, but now is the time to get your guests to enjoy Japan and Southeast Asia. I mentioned here as well about our amazing fam trip. I'm going to give you the link in just a moment to submit your bookings. But yeah, we've got a 7-day West Coast of America, 7-day Mediterranean. I get to be there and I get to be hanging out with you for a fam trip. It's going to be such an amazing time. And yet again, we really do these fam trips right. So make sure you tell your colleagues and you submit all of your bookings. Also, just a quick reminder, last minute deals to the Mediterranean right now, up to £600 off per room. This is something really exciting. Congratulations, Louise, on winning a Costa Coffee card. There's never has been a better time to get some fantastic savings for the Mediterranean. And I know we're talking about Japan and Southeast Asia, but as travel agents, I just need you to know this is exciting. And also, not just for your guests, also you. On Fly Mediterranean until for 2026, you can get £50 bonus commission too. That's until the 30th of April. Terms and conditions apply. But it's great for your time to book FlyMed for your guests as well as for you. And on top of that, you could also register for our fam trip incentive. Like, that's pretty awesome, right? Like, come on. I want to quickly highlight, I'm at the end almost here, our OneSource training platform. Questions, queries, to get marketing materials, it's all on here. You can even access plain sailing, and truly it is your one-stop shop for anything you need to know. Check this out. You can also scan this QR code here to access our website. You can get onto our Facebook page where we put loads of up-to-date deals. This Week of Princess is there. Our YouTube link is there as well. And our training in April, we've got so much happening. You can scan that QR code there. That will give you access to sign up for all of these. Our O'Malley's pub quiz, I can't tell you why it's going to be special yet, but it is. It really is. It's an exciting time for Princess. There's a couple of announcements happening. It might have even happened right now, coming up soon. We're super excited. So check out our O'Malley's Princess Pub quiz. We've got a special dining webinar about the different dining options, about the difference between casual and speciality. And I'll get to be joined by Marcus Bean, who's going to take you on a journey. It's going to be a 45-minute webinar, 12:30 on the 21st. And you can do your anytime Mediterranean Kahoot quiz as well on the 30th until the 30th of April. All of these, of course, have prizes. And talking of prizes, someone is going to be winning our gift box, our bespoke Japanese Asian style gift box. So Josephine, we're there. By any chance, can you announce who it is on here? I'm chatting to Josephine about that. We are right there for time. Stephanie, any final messages for you? Anything I might have missed? Anything you're excited about in particular for us sailing from Japan and Southeast Asia?
I think you've covered a lot of it, really brought it to life. It's just such an amazing part of the world, and we offer so many different options for time and destinations to really meet guests' needs. So no, exciting. It's a great place to be.
It is. And yeah, and our shore excursion experience is also absolutely sensational, and it really can help give your guests the best of the experience. Some days go out there, experience on your own, but some days especially when you're going 45 minutes, an hour away, maybe having that guide with your guests can really make a difference, because that time can be used really well and give them the peace of mind. Josephine, are we able to do our final winner for our gift box?
We are. I have already dropped it in the chat, so she's
Oh,
already got a little bit
fantastic.
of a hint, but it is Gemma. Well done. And thank you to everybody who participated.
Perfect. And we're dropping out, you might have already done it, our email for the Academy inbox so we can send over your prizes as well. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Thank you for being part of our webinar for Japan and Southeast Asia. And we hope you found it informative and fun. Thank you.